Chapter 11. The Confrontation.
Taylor sat stunned in his chair. "What did you think? I didn't know you were a vampire?" she asked. "No, yeah, I thought I was hiding it from you," Taylor replied, flabbergasted. "I can tell you're powerful, but you're not that powerful, hotshot," Trisha replied. "You knew I was, right?" Trisha asked. "Yeah, I knew that. I haven't met a lot of vampires yet," Taylor replied. "How long ago were you turned?" Trisha asked, raising an eyebrow. "A little over a month now," Taylor said. Trisha's eyes grew wide. "What the hell are you talking about? There's no way that you're that young." "Well, how long have you been a vampire?" Taylor asked. "A year and a half, and I've never met a vampire able to control himself after his first kill. Not that I've ever met a vampire that has as much power as you," Trisha replied, confused. "Yeah, I got converted by a vampire that knew and passed on our true history," Taylor said. "And you want to shed some light on that for me?" Trisha inquired. Taylor began to speak, and the small hand on the clock went around twice before he stopped. He told her of how the vampires began, and all the way through to how he had become a vampire. "It makes so much more sense. Our legends are really messed up. You have to meet my friends. They won't believe this." "Can I call one friend over now?" Trisha asked. "Of course, but I want to hear how you became a vampire before I tell my story again," Taylor said. She got on her cell phone, and without giving anything away, she got Ashley, the one friend, on her way over. Trisha stood up and stretched and started some coffee. Taylor followed her to the kitchen. She gave him a nervous smile. "You all right?" "A lot to take in one night," Taylor said. "Yeah, but it all fits. Here I thought I was some kind of magical creature, and it's just science to explain it all." She poured a cup of coffee. "I need to tell you the truth about how I became a vampire. But to be honest, I'd rather not. I don't know what you'll think of me when I tell you," Trisha sighed. "You can wait if it's too hard for you," Taylor asked. "Ah, shit. You had to say that on top of it. No, I need to tell you now. Let's go sit on the couch." Trisha followed him out to the couch this time. "I came out to Hollywood to be an artist. I came up a little short of the mark. And, well, you can tell I'm no star. I was pretty fucked up. I got hooked on some drugs and stuff, and I've done some stuff I'm not too proud of to make it by. I don't mean just stripping. I've turned a few tricks." Trisha grimaced, awaiting the negative reaction. But Taylor only held her hand and gave her his full attention. So she continued. "I was really down on money one time, and I agreed to do a guy, and we were in the back alley. Anyway, one of the Nightshade killed him and went after me. I got away, but—" Taylor interrupted. "The Nightshade?" he asked. "They're vampires who've turned and killed like you, except they keep on killing not like you. You would explain them as bloodlust vampires, I guess. Anyway, he bit me. The bloodlust kicked in, but I didn't know what it was, so I went to the club anyway. And that's where I met Ash," Trisha replied. "She's been a vampire a year longer than me, and the one that started our group. I actually straightened out and got a normal job. I really like you. I don't think I've ever liked a guy like I like you. I hope you'll see that I'm not that person anymore," Trisha said. "What? Of course you're that person. Your past is what makes you who you are right now, and I really, really like you right now," Taylor replied. "Damn, I want to kiss you." She smiled and started over to him. However, the doorbell rudely interrupted. Trisha ran to the door, mumbling something about the worst timing in the world or something to that effect. She threw the door open and smiled and silently invited Ashley in. She almost burst out laughing when Ashley jumped into a fight posture upon seeing Taylor. "Relax. You must be Ashley," Taylor said and smiled. "What the hell?" Ashley shook her head in confusion. "Trisha, you want to tell me what the heck is going on?" "Well, this is Taylor. He rode here with my parents and showed up on my doorstep from Utah. Come into the kitchen and I'll fill you in," Tricia said. You want me to tell her? Taylor asked from the couch. No, a couple other things I need to talk to her about, too, Tricia replied, pulling Ashley into the kitchen by her arm. Tricia made Ashley a cup of coffee and handed it to her. She began to sum up Taylor's story, and Ashley was blown away, although the proof sat right in the other room. The two girls could feel Taylor's power anywhere they went in the house. When Ashley mentioned this, Tricia smiled. I like it. When we went to Universal Studios, we split up, but I knew where he was the whole time, Tricia finished. Tricia, you like him, Ashley accused. No, well, yeah. Jesus, what's not to like? Tricia replied. Yeah, well, what's he like? Find out for yourself. You're gonna love him, Tricia said, waving her into the living room. When they walked in, Taylor set down the book he'd been reading. You guys have some girl talk, huh? Taylor asked. No, why, did you hear us? Ashley asked. Nope, just assumed, Taylor said with a knowing smile on his face. Well, I told Ashley about the history, so the real question is, can we make a kill? And can we still beat the addiction? And if so, when? Tricia asked, trying desperately to change the subject and not turn bright red. Although I made a kill a lot earlier in my vampirism, I don't think it will be an issue. Thorant had said to take our time, but we need a room with no window and someone to watch the door constantly. How many people are we planning to convert? Taylor asked, realizing that he did not have any clue on how big their group was. 15, Ashley replied, already growing very comfortable with Taylor. His subtle crooked smiles gave her great confidence in him. Something in the manner he held himself put one at ease. Are you serious? This is going to take months, Taylor said. Well, we could do more than one at a time. No, not unless we have more than one room and people to watch the doors, and then I guess you could. Tricia and Ashley both said it at the same time. Nathan's. Taylor had a confused look on his face. Nathan turned out to be the son of a very successful movie producer. His father did not only leave him an enormous estate, but the mansion grounds had a bomb shelter on it. Because his father, it seems, was also a little crazy. They drove to Nathan's, and although Taylor had been a little awestruck at the mansion at first, Nathan was more down to earth than he would have ever thought possible. Nathan was a vampire as well, although he was not intimidated by Taylor as the other two had been. I knew there had to be more to it, he said after Taylor finished telling him the story as they sat by the pool. Let's go see the shelter and see if it's going to work, Nathan said, and they stood and walked down a cobblestone path across the grounds. They came to a large metal door in the ground, a computer touchpad on the ground next to it. It may be a tad messy. I have not been down there since Dad died. Taylor could see the words sting him. Nathan brushed aside the dirt and the dust and tapped in a PIN number. The door, powered by hydraulics, lifted open with a hiss. Nathan led the way down. They walked down a metal staircase, and after going down 3 flights, they walked into a small corridor. There stood yet another door. Nathan keyed in a pin, and the door hissed open. The ceiling rose up in this room, so it was around 13 foot. There were desks with computers, a big screen, radios, and every form of knowledge gathering and communications known to man. The room was circular, and off it sprung 7 doors. 6 of the rooms already had time locks on them, and the 7th door had a kitchen and supply room. The other half of the room was a giant screen that redisplayed the view from the other side of the wall, as if you were standing in front of a giant bay window. Well, this is amazing, Taylor said after looking around. Do you think it'll work? Nathan asked. The technology of the place was almost equals to Thorant's home in the mountain. Taylor smiled, looking around. Work? Hell, it's as if it were built for it, Taylor said. We can do 6 people at a time, so I guess that would be 3 shifts. When do you want to do the first batch? Taylor asked. Tonight, Ashley stated more than answered. Are you sure? Nathan asked the question they had all thought. The Nightshade nowhere around now. We found that out last week, Ashley replied. They will come for us. They have come for every other vampire group we've known. Taylor, sorry to give you a crash course in our little vestige of peace here, but we'll probably be attacked steadily until we're all dead. You have a great amount of power, probably more than them. So I need to get our group up to that level ASAP. Ashley now spoke as a leader with logic and strength. I see your point, Taylor replied. You three and three others first, then? Taylor asked, but again was surprised by the response. No, one of us must be with the group at all times. I will wait out the first round and actually go the third round, Ashley replied. They buttoned up the shelter and returned to the house. Nathan informed his staff to get the shelter ready and after they were finished take a couple weeks off. Jesus, we just kind of dropped a bombshell on your life, huh? Taylor asked Nathan as the evening sun sank below the horizon. The girls had excused themselves upstairs to get ready for the club. Are you kidding? This is the most excited I've ever been. I knew nothing of what it was to be a vampire. I actually paid a group to convert me, Nathan said. Taylor raised an eyebrow at him. It was stupid, but it was something I felt I needed to do. Soon after, I realized how truly hard it is, Nathan reflected. Either way, at this point it's good to have you here, Taylor said. He raised his beer glass to the horizon. To change, he said, and they both drank.